I was wondering how many siblings your father had. How many children were in his family? You mentioned yesterday, but I didn't quite remember. I think it was. I didn't remember how many children, brothers and sisters, your father had.
My father, he had one brother, only one brother, but he was in America. He came back from America. I was already quite a young man when he came back. And he had the same name as I. His name was Yitzchak.
Yitzchak.
Yes. Then my father had two sisters, all born here in Jerusalem, all of them. We were all born in Bate Ungarn, because at that time our forefathers came from Czechoslovakia, which was Hungary. And so they settled in Bate Ungarn, and that's where we were all born. I went to Cheder every day in Mea Shearim,
What was
just across the road.
What was the name of the cheder that you went to?
Oh, it was a big Talmud Torah that was called the Talmud Torah of Mea Shearim. Very famous Talmud Torah, a big, and there were so many children, there were so many different classes.
Only boys, obviously.
Yes, naturally. Naturally, girls didn't go to school.
What were the names of your father's sisters?
One was called Leah, and the other one was called Hannah.
Hannah and Leah.
Yes. Our life was very peaceful, very quiet, although from time to time there were Arabs that were rioting, and they were very wild. They were killing and maiming. And I remember as a child, little children, we knew about it, and when we heard, we all crawled under a bed to hide. We were afraid of the Arabs.
Did the parents tell you to crawl under the beds?
What?
Did your parents tell you to crawl under the beds?
No, we ourselves. We ourselves, because we knew about these riots, and riots by the Arabs, and we were terrified. So we hid under the bed. This I'll never forget.
Could you hear the riots taking place? Could you hear noise, or you just heard there was a riot and you ran away?
We didn't hear them because in those days they didn't have guns. They came with knives. And there were many casualties that they killed.
Were there people from your neighbors in Bate Hungarin who were injured or killed?
No, as it happens in Bate Ungarn, not. But people who lived further out, the furthest that we were allowed to go was Schneller. That was the furthest. I remember on Tu B'Shvat every year, the Talmud Torah, the whole Talmud Torah of Mea Shearim. There were many, many children, many classes there. All of us marched out and we went as far as Schneller. And the Rebbe says, no further, it's dangerous. We have no right to go any further. And there, the Rebbe went and he bought somewhere a bag of oranges. And he made us all sit down, and each one of us got an orange. That was on Tu B'Shvat.
Schneller was not what it is today. What was there at Schneller in those days?
Schneller was a monastery.
Ah.
Yes. And
And it was called Schneller?
it was called Schneller. It was established by someone whose name was Schneller. And the Rebbe says, not further, no one must go any further. It's dangerous. We have no right to go any further. That was Jerusalem of those days. But life was very meaningful, very rich in contents. We all learned constantly from childhood until we grew up, start learning Gemara, and we went higher and higher. In Mea Sharim was a very big Talmud Torah. The largest Talmud Torah in Yerushalayim was in Mea Sharim.
How many children were in a class?
In the Talmud Torah,
In your Kita, how many children were there? What do you estimate?
at least 30.
And what, with one teacher, with one,
A Rebbe,
did you have the same
Because-
Rebbe all day long for
all day
everything?
long. Every class had a Rebbe.
So who was your Rebbe?
Well, I went from one to another. I started off from the lowest class and went every year higher and higher.
Do you
And there
remember the
were-
names of any of your Rebbes?
I think that the youngest one was called Rebel, and he was a very fine, a very peaceful. He loved the children, and we loved him. But then there was a certain Rebbe. His name was Reb Motel, and we were all terrified of him.
Why?
Because Reb Motel was very, very strict. We had to sit and learn, we had to pay attention, and he even noticed any one of us not following in the Gemara, he would